That line breaks Mulholland Drive wide open. The dream collapses, the illusion shatters. But Lynch isn't playing tricks. This isn't a puzzle film with one answer, it's a nightmare you have to feel your way through. The film has a structure. Everything before Club Silencio is Diane's dying fantasy. Everything after is reality crashing in, but it opens before any of this. A jitterbug contest, a young woman dancing, victorious. Then an elderly couple on a plane, smiling and waving. Pleasant, harmless. Then, the dream begins. Betty arrives from a small town in Canada, chasing stardom. She's staying at her aunt's mansion while she's away. Inside she finds a woman, disorientated and terrified with no memory, not even her name. She spots a Rita Hayworth poster on the wall and takes that name. Rita needs Betty's help. All she remembers is an accident on Mulholland Drive. Betty finds a bag of cash in Rita's belongings. A clue at a diner leads them to a name.
Diane Selwyn.
Meanwhile, Betty's preparing for an audition. She rehearses with Rita at the apartment. Stilted, awkward. But at the auditions, she aces it, wowing the cast and crew. Within days, Betty's dream seems within reach. But something's off. Betty and Rita notice men following them. After losing their tail, they reach Diane's apartment. Then there's Adam Kesher's storyline, a director stripped of all control by mobster-like producers, the Castigliani brothers, Mr. Roque, the cowboy, who dictate his every move. Adam's storyline runs parallel to Betty's, but they never meet in the dream. Lynch keeps them in separate orbits, because in reality, Adam chose another woman, not Diane. The dream can't let them connect. There's also a darkly comic hitman subplot, a bungled job that ends with 2 more bodies. Then there's Winky's Diner, where a man describes his recurring nightmare about something lurking behind the building. He walks around back to confront his fear, and when he sees the monster, he collapses. The first real crack in Betty's reality appears when Rita says something strange,
Rita.
leading them to a smaller old theatre where the illusion finally shatters.
Time to wake up.
After Club Silencio, we cut to a woman waking up, but it's not Betty. Her name is Diane. Betty was never real, just who Diane wished she was. Rita fades away too. She was never real. She is Diane's fantasy version of Camilla, her friend and former lover, stripped of agency, memory and power, remade into someone who needs saving. Diane lives in a cramped, messy apartment, not a mansion, and the truth is her acting career has gone nowhere. What makes it worse? Watching Camilla succeed where she failed, until her envy grows to the point of doing the unthinkable, hiring a hitman to kill Camilla. What follows is despair, self-destruction, and complete psychological collapse. So what really happened? After Diane wins that jitterbug contest, the taste of victory fuels her Hollywood ambition, but she burns through her aunt's inheritance. Success never comes. She's probably waited tables. Notice how a key clue in the dream involves a waitress named Diane. Even her fantasy can't fully erase her real humiliations. To Diane, Camilla's success confirms her worst fear. The system doesn't reward talent or virtue, it rewards compromise. All that longing, rage and rejection builds until it pushes Diane to murder. Watch for one cryptic moment. Mr. Roque makes a phone call.
The girl is still missing.
He's talking about Rita. Diane's dream keeps Camilla alive because in Diane's dying mind, she is still missing. The hitman hasn't called. The blue key hasn't arrived. Diane can't admit what she's done. In Diane's mind, Lynch turns people and places into abstract concepts. Mulholland Drive, Betty's aunt's mansion, the spot where Adam meets the cowboy, they're all near the Hollywood sign. That's not accidental. Lynch clusters Diane's fantasy around the physical symbol of the Hollywood dream. Even Winky sits on Sunset Boulevard. Lynch puts Diane's nightmare on the same street that destroyed Norma Desmond. The cowboy, that classic symbol of the American dream, becomes Hollywood's faceless authority. In the fantasy, Diane invents a conspiracy. She transforms the system into something dark and occult, shadowy forces pulling strings behind the scenes. Watch how the same phrase echoes through the dream.
This is the girl.
The Castigliani brothers say it, Mr. Roque says it, the cowboy says it. They all mean Camilla. They're forcing Adam to cast her, not because of talent, but because of some unseen power structure. This is how Diane protects herself. If powerful forces rigged the game, her failure isn't personal, it's systemic. She can live with that. Here's proof of Diane's self-delusion. In the fantasy, Betty rehearses with Rita using lines from the script, the Sylvia North story. And when she auditions, she's reading the same lines. Diane's subconscious can't even invent new dialogue. The reality is more banal and more revolting. The party at Adam's house is where everything crystallizes. Camilla brings Diane as a guest, not a partner. She kisses another woman right in front of her. Then Adam announces his engagement to Camilla. One of the Castigliani brothers is there too. Not the mob gatekeeper from the fantasy, just a leering producer who likely traded the role for sexual favours. Watch Diane's discomfort when she mentions they both auditioned for the Sylvia North story, but Camilla got it. Adam's mother pats Diane's hand in sympathy. This is the final humiliation, not just losing Camilla, but being forced to witness her success, her new life, while Diane has nothing. And here's the kicker, Diane got the same offer. Camilla mentioned a shortcut before the party. The implication is clear, Diane could advance her career like Camilla if she's willing to pay that price. So Diane's breakdown isn't just envy, it's the conflict between ambition and shame that eventually drives her to murder Camilla. But the fantasy can't survive the weight of that choice. At Club Silencio, the dream breaks. Listen to the sound, echo, reverb, silence that isn't silent. When Rebecca Del Rio performs, she collapses, but the song continues. The audio shifts. Too perfect, pre-recorded. Lynch uses sound itself to reveal the artifice. Pre-recorded tracks, lip-synced performances. This is how the movie industry manufactures emotion on command. We accept the illusion even when we know it's fake. That's the Dream Factory, the same Hollywood that destroyed Norma Desmond, now claiming another victim. Betty isn't just another fantasy version of Diane, she's built from Hollywood's own mythology. She embodies Golden Age cinema, earnest, polite, supportive, untouched by cynicism. She's the actress Diane thinks she should have been, where pure talent gets rewarded by merit. In Diane's fantasy, Hollywood still works that way. Betty arrives in LA and within days lands an audition and nails it. The message is clear, show your talent, get recognised immediately. But Betty's entire sense of self is fused with this Hollywood dream, so when reality doesn't match the fantasy, her identity collapses. Watch how Lynch shoots the fantasy versus the reality. In the dream, everything glows, warm golden light, soft shadows, classic Hollywood glamour. In reality, harsh fluorescents make everything look sickly and flat. The shift isn't just visual, it's visceral. Love, sex, intimacy flow seamlessly in the dream. Lynch shoots Betty and Rita's lovemaking like classic Hollywood romance, soft light, tenderness, mutual desire. Rita is grateful, devoted, and dependent on Betty. This is how Diane wishes it had been. In reality, Diane has no love, no connection. At the party, Camilla kisses someone else in front of her. Nothing shields Diane from the pain. Watch the master scene. Diane tries to force some sort of arousal, but all we see is shame and self-disgust. And then, the blue box. The moment it appears, Betty vanishes. The fantasy collapses. The box contains everything the dream has been hiding. The truth about Diane and Camilla, the humiliation, the jealousy, the guilt. On a larger scale, it reveals Hollywood's darker machinery. In Lynch's universe, blue is often the colour of secrecy. Notice how Club Silencio gets drenched in blue light before the box appears. Lynch is preparing you for what's coming. In reality, there is no blue box, just a blue key, proof that Camilla is dead. The box is the fantasy, the key is the reality. Two other figures reveal Diane's psychological fracture. The hitman in Diane's psyche represents two opposing forces, her fantasy of control and her subconscious guilt. Diane believes she can make the pain go away, just hire someone, remove Camilla, problem solved. But notice how the hit goes wrong in the dream. It gets messier, bloodier, because deep down she knows murdering Camilla won't solve anything. Even the bag of cash Rita carries in the dream echoes the money Diane paid the hitman, guilt seeping into every detail of the fantasy. The hitman represents the system's banal violence, the quiet, necessary cruelty that keeps the dream factory running. Someone has to remove the people who no longer serve the narrative of success. Then there's the man at Winky's. He describes his nightmare about something behind the diner. That same man appears in reality, watching Diane after she hires the hitman. He's a witness to Diane's crime, or he's Diane's conscience, externalized. Either way, his nightmare came true. The monster is real, and it's Diane. What he feared behind the diner wasn't supernatural, it was human failure. And the monster behind Winky's? That's Diane's deformed self, the version of her polluted by shame and guilt, the fate of those Hollywood discards. When we see the monster again later, after Diane's truth is revealed, it's holding the blue box. But we don't see a monster anymore. We see a vulnerable, broken person. Someone abandoned by love, by Hollywood, by herself. One more figure bridges both worlds. Coco, the apartment manager played by Ann Miller. In the dream, she's warm and motherly. She welcomes Betty to her aunt's apartment. In reality, she's Adam Kesher's mother, who recognises Diane's humiliation at the party. The casting itself is pointed. Ann Miller was a real Golden Age star, now in a minor supporting role, exactly what Diane dreamed of becoming and feared ending up as. If you've made it this far, be sure to subscribe. We're breaking down more films like this. And if there's a film you'd like us to deep dive into, drop it in the comments. All these figures, the hitman, the monster, Coco, revealed fragments of Diane's shattered psyche. But the dream can't hold forever. The fantasy has collapsed. Reality closes in. This is after the murder, after the blue key arrived. The guilt has consumed her. The smiling elderly couple from the Jitterbug contest now crawl through her apartment, laughing maniacally. They've transformed from symbols of success into reminders of failure. Unable to escape her guilt, Diane shoots herself in her bed. Lynch doesn't show the act gratuitously. We see her reach for the gun, then cut away. The violence is internal, psychological. The elderly couple represents the American dream Diane believed in, that talent and hard work guarantee success. Now that promise mocks her. The blue box appearing in reality confirms Camilla is dead. Diane kills herself because she can't reconcile her dream of Hollywood's success, the reality of her failure, and the guilt of murdering the woman she loved. The dream was her shield. Once it collapsed at Club Silencio, nothing protected her from the pain. And rather than face what she'd become, the monster behind Winkies, the discarded failure, she chooses oblivion. There is no band. There is no Betty. There is only the nightmare, and the truth that Diane couldn't survive.